how did I buy enough homes while I was in college to become ultimately financially free and quit my job? More importantly, how can you do the same? Today, I'm interviewing a young 20-year-old named Cayden who is in almost identical circumstances as me, and he wants to get a private game plan, and he's saying, Kris, how do I do exactly what you did when you were in college, but maybe even faster? Today, I'm going to interview him, and I'm going to give him a private custom game plan and show him exactly how to do it. By the way, stay tuned. At the end of the video, I'm going to share with you how you can get your own private custom game plan as well, so that you can have revealed what you need to do to make your next $1 million.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
So I am back with Cayden, and Cayden, dude, so glad to have you here, brother.
Nice to meet you.
Guys, so Cayden finds himself in a very similar situation at the start of his adult life, kind of like I did. Going to college, working barely full-time at a job, and basically having barely enough money to kind of pay the bills and kind of keep ahead so you don't have to go into student debt just like I did. And you've come on today with a question for me.
Yep.
What is it?
Basically, how do I do exactly what you did with knowing what you know now?
How do you do exactly what I did, but knowing especially what I know now?
Yeah,
Awesome.
right.
So let's see if we can even top it and give you an accelerated version.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I'm down.
Now you're young, you're 20 years old? 20 years old, college, and ultimately just trying to figure out how do I financially get this thing?
Yep.
What are you studying in school, by the way?
I'm just doing generals. Don't even know where that's headed either.
Awesome, perfect, great. So basically I knew that I was going to be wealthy through real estate, so I didn't really care a whole lot when I was going to college either. So let's play, let's have some fun.
Okay.
Let me find out just a couple of quick facts about you, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put myself in your shoes and say, if I woke up today as Cayden, what would I do to become financially free as quickly as possible?
Okay.
Deal?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, awesome. Okay, so for starters, you have a job.
Correct.
So you're going to school full-time and working full-time?
Yep.
And what are you doing for work?
I dispatch on alarms.
Okay, so you've got some type of alarms, security type job.
Correct.
And how much a year do you think you're making doing that?
Around 22,000.
Okay, $22,000 a year. Good college job, right?
Yeah, decent.
And it's been enough to stay out of debt?
Yeah.
So you don't have any debt so far?
No college debt.
But you're in your second year of college?
Yep.
Perfect. I get where you're at, man. Outside of that, how's your credit? Have you started building it?
Yeah, I have one credit card and then I have an auto loan.
Okay, good. I'm going to recommend right now you get a second credit card.
Okay.
And this is going to be funny. It's going to literally, this is like, I'm going to carbon copy give you the same game plan that I had.
Okay.
Just soup it up a little bit.
Deal. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So right now, your credit is good. And there's a couple things we need to do there. So ultimately, though, alarms, you've been at that job for how long?
14 months.
14 months. All right, I got a game plan for you. Ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, dude, let's make it happen. So check it out. Right now, some of you might be watching this being like, dude, Kris, how can you create a game plan? He doesn't have savings. He doesn't have 401k. He doesn't have IRA. He doesn't own real estate. He got nothing. This is not exactly true. He has actually a lot more going for him. And that's what I want to reveal right here. So here's what the game plan is looking like. Option number one is we want to find out how to get you into a primary residence. Now, primary residence is not an investment per se yet. It's a property that you're buying for you to live in versus an investment property.
Okay.
You see, an investment property, you got to put 20% down. And if we're talking about a $200,000 home, that's like 40 grand. It's a lot of money. But if you're buying kind of an entry-level primary residence, you're not married, right?
No.
So check this out. Primary residence, you get to actually get away with putting 3% down. So what are homes in your area like? What city are you in?
Ogden.
So you're going to be in the 120, 140, 180 range?
Yep, probably around there.
Okay, so let's just say that you bought a house for $150,000, and let's say you got a good deal on it, because I showed you how to do that. Your 3%, for you to do that, it's going to cost you $4,500. Now, you don't have any money right now, but here's the good news. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, you can save for that. You can scrimp for that. You can figure that out. You can partner. You can borrow a little. Like, there's a way to actually figure that game out. So that's just the first piece of good news, which is you don't need a whole lot of money to actually get in the game. But there's a couple more things you are going to need. Number one, you're going to need to get a second credit card.
Okay.
Because most banks are going to want to see that you have 3 lines of credit. You got an auto loan. You have a credit card. We need to get 1, maybe even 2 more credit cards.
Okay.
And the reason why we want to get those credit cards is because banks, before they'll say, sure, we'll lend you $100,000 on buying a house, they want to say, well, is he fiscally responsible? And they're like, he has one credit card, we can't really tell yet.
Yeah.
You do 2 or 3 cards, and here's what I want you to do. Use them and pay them off. That's it. I don't care what their limits are. I don't care what their perks and bennies are. All I want you to do, dude, run up $20 meal on it once a month and pay it off. I just need them to see, oh, this card is active and he's keeping it paid off. Hence, he must be responsible. We're going to bump his credit score a little bit. More importantly, the banks are going to want to see that so they can say like, hey, we'll actually lend him a house. The second thing is where we're at in the year, you got 14 months of history under your belt and we're about to change the year over. I would say in about 3 months, something's going to happen. You're going to be able to file your second year taxes. Because when you did your 2018 taxes, you had already had your job for what, 5-6 months or something like that?
Yeah, around there.
So now the banks are going to say, we want a 2-year history on you. So even though you only worked half of the year, they are still going to call that history. But now if you just wait 3 more months and do your taxes again, they're now going to say you actually have a second year. And most banks want to see a 2-year history of you doing some kind of job in the same line of work. They don't care that it's a college job. They don't care that it's alarms. What they want is he dependable? So you're 3 months away from actually hitting a dependability mark. Don't get fired in the next 3 months.
Okay.
Don't change your job in the next 3 months. Or if you do, stay in the same industry. And if you did change a job, don't have more than like a 2 or 3 month gap. Because then they would say, his employment was interrupted too long, and now his 2 years starts over again. They ultimately want to see a 2-year tax return. You're just a couple months away from a 2-year tax return. So by the way, I got some good news for you. Get a couple of credit cards and get that work history going, and you'll actually nearly be ready. The only thing missing is $4,500.
Okay.
Now my question for you is, can you be resourceful enough to figure out how to make that happen?
Yeah, I can put something together.
You can put something together, right? It's not a lot of money, and it's always good to have a goal. So right now I'm giving you a little tick sheet. Now, by the way, these are the exact same things. Literally, my mentor told me, Kris, you don't change your job. You need another like 8 months at it or whatever. And then he said, you need to set $5,000 aside. That's essentially what I'm telling you. He said, make sure you get 2 more lines of credit. It's the same thing I've told you. And it's really those 3 things that are actually going to put you in a position where you can buy a house. Now, you're single, so the good news is get a good deal on a house and then get 3 roommates. And guess who's going to pay the mortgage?
Them.
Yes, they are going to pay the
Not
mortgage.
me.
It's a $300 private room, a $400 private room, and two $200 shared rooms. And you add it all up, and it's like, wow, that's a lot more money than my mortgage. And I'm actually getting ahead a couple $100 a month. And the bank looks at that and they say, we'll do this again. So let me share with you what that means. That gets us into the second step of this. Phase 1 is get a primary residence.
Okay.
Phase 2, once you have done it, after 6 or 12 months of being there, literally do rinse and repeat. Now, that means that you're going to need to move to do this again. And dude, you're young, you're single, you don't have a whole lot of crap yet. Like, move again. Get a house with some equity. Keep that one rented out to the roommates, or I'll show you my lease option system to put a family in there and to really bump up the cash flow, get some heavy money collected up front, and then literally go buy a primary residence again. Now you got 2 houses, you're positive cash flow on both of them, and now you're actually clearing some money. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Now here's the good news. In a year when you go to do this, if you bought some equity into this home and it's a primary residence, the banks will let you lend up to 90% of a house like that and use it to buy another one. So if they said, oh, here's a $10,000 or $20,000 line of credit, and you're saying, Kris, could I use some of that equity to like buy my next house? You know what the answer is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't need $4,500 again. You need it once. I want you to buy that house with a little bit of equity, and you need to save yourself up $4,500, $5,000.
Okay.
And there's ways to be resourceful. There can be some side hustles. There's all sorts of opportunities. Videos I've made on this channel for what you can do to scrape some extra money, because now you have a reason. So far, working has just been about staying out of debt. Now you got to say, all right, I need to work to stay out of debt, and I need $5,000 more. So now you start asking things. You start asking your boss, how can I get a promotion? Like, I've been here for over a year. How can I get a promotion? And there's so many different ways to actually scrape some extra money together. One is be a better saver. Number 2 is try to get a raise. Number 3 is there might be a really tiny side hustle on the side where you can put that together. My 13-year-old daughter has a week job that she makes $500 a month from. So there's opportunities out there as long as you know what for, and now you do.
Okay.
So The third option that I do want to give you, Cayden, is I love helping young people invest in real estate. And I promised you a game plan where you could go faster than me. You buy these first 2 houses, you'll use the equity to buy a third without needing to move, and then a fourth, and then it's just gonna go.
Yeah.
But how you go faster is with what I call partnering. And partnering, I created a program, it's called Maverick. And the Maverick program essentially says, go find other people out there that have saved some money and are ready to invest in real estate, introduce them to my team, and if they decide to do anything with me or partner with me, I'll take my ownership that I get out of the arrangement and I'll split it with you equally. You and I essentially become equal business partners, but this real estate requires no money and it requires no credit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that exciting?
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in that.
Dude, that's the real estate. That is what totally set me off on my journey to get where I've gotten. It's how do you tap into real estate with no money, no credit? Here we're talking about buying 2 houses with $4,500. It's a really small amount. The ROI is going to be really, really high on them. But you also have a way. You might even say before that happens, you might have a parent that says, I'll invest in you. Let me help you get that house, or that makes sense. Or, hey, I've got some money sitting in a 401k or IRA doing nothing. You never know. And so you start saying, okay, now that I know what I want, now I'm going to start seeing what doors and windows I can open that can lead me to actually accelerating. That is how you will go crazy fast. That makes sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So how do you feel about your options?
I like them. Doesn't seem too bad.
Guys, you have options too. Cayden's not the only one. In fact, I feel so passionate about understanding that at the start of this video, you're probably thinking, dude, Cayden's got nothing. He's got to finish college. He's got to get a job for a while and save. I'm like, bullcrap. Never let anyone tell you that you have to wait when the time can 100% be now. Right now, it's just a little bit of hustle to make it happen. And if you're looking for your own custom private game plan, there's a link below. And I've got a whole set of trained staff that just do game plans with people for free. Literally an opportunity for you to get an outsider's perspective and understand, could I actually start investing in real estate right now? And you'll find out if you click that link and talk to a member of my team. So dude, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Excited about your options?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm pumped
Let's
for
go
you.
make it happen.
As I track young Cayden here on his journey, we'll do a follow-up so you can see what becomes of him. And for the rest of you out there, make sure you like this video so that YouTube knows to share it. Please smash that like button. And I'll look forward to seeing you, subscribers, on tomorrow's video.